Hello, spineless apes. It is I, the legendary King of the Galaxy, and I'm back in full force with another magical video. It contains some interesting information about the supposed upcoming new Dragon Ball series called Dragon Ball Magic. Like Dragon Ball Magic the Gathering. Well, if Dragon Ball Magic does not exist and it's called something else, or if the rumors do not line up 100% with what is being leaked, then this will be the largest dupe in the history of the Dragon Ball fandom. Before we get into what I've discovered in my research, I want to first ask that you please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Dragon Ball content, and please leave a comment below on what you think of my findings. We will get to this information soon, but I want to preface a few things first before we get to the meat and potatoes. First, I in no way claim that what I am presenting is 100% legitimate, and you should take it as a grain of salt. It is also my own research, and I would ask that all of you do your own research as well. Second, I in no way believe that what I hear online from people who claim to have inside scoops on things until I hear it from the official sources themselves. I'm too old and don't care and have seen this 1,000 times. Lastly, I have always said I want Dragon Ball to succeed. I want it to be the greatest anime in the history of the world, the way it used to be. If Dragon Ball Magic is real, then I hope it is better than the ridiculous shit show that we got from Dragon Ball Super. While Super grew to astronomical proportions in popularity and pop culture, it lost the essence of what made the show great. But while I am hopeful that whatever is coming next month is good, I am at heart a realist, and I know that the reality is, this potential new series, whether it's Dragon Ball Magic or not, or whether it follows these leaks or not, may not be for me and many of you, and that's okay. Let's set the stage a bit here. For those of you who don't know, a few days back, a lot of large-scale Dragon Ball influencers all began hyping up and leaking the supposed plot for a new Dragon Ball series known as Dragon Ball Magic, to be showcased at the New York Comic-Con on October 12th. I don't need to tell you the names of these people who started leaking this supposed information, as you all already know who they are. But it is interesting to me how one or two of them start to drop something like this and the rest of them all come guzzling for the milk, for their precious likes, hype, and dollar signs. But that's a topic for another video. Now, if these leaks turn out not to be true or don't 100% line up with what is being posted, then all of these individuals claiming it's real will just try to do damage control or claim other nonsense to cover their asses. We know something is coming. But the question here is it Dragon Ball Magic, and is it what they claim these leaks appear to be? In any case, we got a wave of trending Dragon Ball Magic postings and articles over the past few days, and yet again, none of this has been confirmed. And while everyone blindly follows these fools who amp up something that may or may not exist, myself and others remain skeptical and want to wait for an official confirmation if these leaks are indeed real. To give you a brief synopsis, here is what the leaks claim. Remember, this should be taken as a grain of salt. The name will be called Dragon Ball Magic. The plot will revolve around Goku and Shin, who will be transformed into children by a demon, and will travel from planet to planet in search of the demon. It will be set before the end of Z. There will be various enemies on each planet, and there will be new characters, two in particular, to help Goku and Shin. This goes on, but suffice it to say this sounds somewhat familiar, like Dragon Ball GT. Could it be good? Who's to say? But it got me thinking. There must be a way to verify these claims or leak before this announcement next month, something that isn't public. So I decided to do my own research, and here is what I found. Keep in mind that you are now entering pure speculation. Do not believe anything you hear from these individuals, or even myself. Hear all. Believe nothing. All we know is that an announcement for a new series has been scheduled at New York Comic-Con. That is all we know. Stop feeding into the hype. and remain vigilant. First, as many of you know, when a show or movie or game is being worked on, there are legal things that need to be done for copyright, trademarks, and the like, to ensure that when said piece of media is ready to be released to the public, all of the proper legal documentation attached to said project is properly set up and put in place. These documents are, most of the time, ready and set up months, if not years in advance before the release of said product. This includes the title of the game or movie or what have you. Knowing this, I worked to see if I could find any breadcrumbs of Dragon Ball Magic, legally, that is out in public domain prior to the leaks. As a lot of times these titles can be buried or easy to find, but to a certain extent are public in the fact that they are posted for nothing more than documenting or serialization. Here is my first find. The domain name of dragonballmagic.com was purchased a day after the supposed title for Dragon Ball Magic dropped. I find this curious, as if Dragon Ball Magic was in fact in development for all of these years, as some of these sources claim, then why was the domain purchased hours after the leaks blew up on social media? Most of the time, domain names for projects are purchased months or years in advance, so that no one else can claim them. Could this actually be Toei or an affiliate for them? Possibly, but I don't believe that it is. It is much more likely that as soon as the supposed title for Dragon Ball Magic was released, someone, a fan or otherwise, purchased the domain dragonballmagic.com. But I will leave this first chunk of evidence up to you. As I said, most of the time, these things are all planned out and purchased well in advance, so why would the domain name be purchased after the leaks came out? This leads to my second findings, or lack thereof. The United States Patent and Trademark Office. You can search for Dragon Ball marks and registration numbers on here, and of course, when scrolling through and investigating, I found nothing related to Dragon Ball Magic. Everything from Dragon Ball to Z, GT, Super, and even Dragon Ball Flash and Fighter Z all have records on here, and as I stated before, most of these were all claimed years, if not months, before the release of said product. This gets into the global brand database. I filtered through this website by most recent Dragon Ball topics, and it looks like Canada is getting some trademarked Dragon Ball Z items. Here is something from, again, Dragon Ball Flash, that was filed last year, but still nothing on here for Dragon Ball Magic. Now, is it possible that Toei or other affiliates that represent them have already filed for Dragon Ball Magic and they have not appeared on these sites yet? Yes, that is indeed true. But if they had filed for these patents, trademarks, or other copyrighted materials, you would think that they would have done so months, if not years in advance, and yet there seems to be no evidence of them on this site. You can take this evidence how you see fit. There may be better sites to check, but do your own research, folks. I want to state, for the record, that if Dragon Ball Magic does not exist, if the rumors don't line up with what the leaks have been saying, and this new series is something else entirely, then, my friends, this will have been the greatest dupe in the history of the Dragon Ball fandom, all perpetuated and promoted by those who wish to make bank and remain in power off the backs of devoted loving fans of the series. It's as if they all have the inside scoop on Dragon Ball, and like lemmings, once a post comes out on something, the rest seem to follow suit. All for the glory of the hype train, and all while inflating their egos, followers, and wallets. Blind hype, all for nothing, while praising how great modern Dragon Ball is. My friends, this is laughable. I do not believe Dragon Ball Magic exists, and if it does, who cares? The series will probably be awful, but you never know. Maybe we'll be surprised. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below and tell me what you think about all of this Dragon Ball Magic hoopla. That is all for now. Goodbye.